Sicilian defense, open, accelerated dragon, Maroczy bind formation, 5, nf66.nc3d67.b2nx d48.qx d4bg79.b30010.qd2b6. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. Black got the better of white in that game. Both players had an amazing opening. That was an incredible middle game by both players. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn, since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. The c-pawn in the Sicilian defense controls the d4 square. Nf3 moves the knight toward the center in anticipation of a pawn push on d4, where it will be ready to retake the piece if black captures on d4. The dark squared bishop is getting ready to be fianchetto onto the long diagonal. The pawn on c5 is attacked, center space is taken up by d4, and the dark squared bishop can advance. Cx d4 captures the central d4 pawn and opens up the center. Nx d4 captures the d4 pawn and places the knight in the center. Nc6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the knight on d4 and controls the e5 square. c4 obtains room on the queen side and center and gets ready to advance the knight to c3. Nf6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the e4 pawn and controls the d5 square. Nc3 controls the d5 square, advances the knight toward the center, and protects the e4 pawn. Nx d4 captures the knight on d4 and forces qx d4 from white. After black plays bg7, there may be tricks against the queen on d4. Qx d4 recaptures the knight and pins the knight on f6 to the rook on h8. d6 controls the e5 square and allows the light squared bishop to develop. b2 develops the bishop toward the center and prepares to castle. Fianchetto move bg7 places the bishop on the long diagonal. b3 develops the bishop toward the center, supports the queen on d4 and allows queenside castling. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. qd2 retreats the queen, avoiding any discovered attacks from black's dark squared bishop on g7. b6 develops the bishop toward the center and attacks the c4 pawn. This develops a rook off its starting square, getting it into the action. This connects the rooks, which helps them coordinate together in the future. The pawn is now adequately defended. This reveals an attack on a queen. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only move that works. Backs off. This uses a pawn to attack the center while vying for position. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. Game's master. It is the final book action. By moving a rook from its starting square, this activates it. That's good. Although white lost their edge, the game is still almost evenly matched. It is incorrect. The knight can now control more squares as a result. It is quite good. This misses an opportunity to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. This permits the opponent to take an outpost with the knight. It is an inaccuracy. The knight is now located at an outpost, a safe area inside the enemy's territory. It is ideal. This avoids the knight's check. It is quite good. This shifts the bishop to a square with more activity, giving it greater scope. That's good. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. It is best. As a result, the bishop may now control more squares because it is in a better position. It is ideal. This allows the knight to control more squares. This is the only good move. It is a great move. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This threatens to kick a knight. It is best. This buys time by putting a rook in danger and getting it to flee. It is ideal. Now that the rooks can see one another, they can defend one another. It is ideal. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. This is the only move that works. It is a great move. Thus, the attacked pawn is protected. This poses a threat to strike a knight. It is ideal. This wins a tempo by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. It is best.